Hi everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Alisa. I am a demonstrator for Stampin' Up! Here in Australia. So today I'm going to be showing you how to create this card here using the Lasting Lilies stamp set from the Celebration catalogue. Now if you are a customer of mine and you purchased in January, you will have received a kit to make this card. So here is your instructions, and for everybody else along who would like to make it as well. So I'm going to actually do it a little bit differently to what I did originally. I just inked and stamped, but I'm going to try it out. I'm going to see how it goes, and if it doesn't go well, then I'll be remaking another video. So I'm going to be using, actually I can probably stamp both at the same time. I have just got some pieces of cardstock here, and I can probably do them both at the same time, which would be really handy. So I'm going to use my Stamparatus for this one, and being that these images are actually from the distinctive range, they can sometimes be a little bit tricky to stamp if you have a juicy ink pad. So I'm going to try and eliminate that by sponging my ink straight onto my stamp. So this is the Mango Melody ink pad, and I'm just going to actually ink up. I don't know whether I'm all in the screen or not. You just shift over. I'm just going to stand up for this little bit of a process so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to ink up and sponge directly onto my stamps. I've tried this with a different set. I haven't tried it with this one, so crossing fingers that it works for me. It worked fantastic for the stamp set that I did use. And then because I've got the Stamparatus, of course if it doesn't come out fantastic, I can have another go. There we go. So I might just need to put a little bit more on. So I'll sort of tap it around, so because I really don't want to get any edges. There we go. How's that? That's not a bad image. Sometimes they can get very clogged up with ink and you don't see a lot of the detail. So I'm happy with that. And I also need to do my stems. So I'm just going to flip my plate around so I don't have to stop and clean them. Now I'm using both of the stems. And actually, I know that my ink pad is quite dry, so I can just stamp this one. Make sure I stick them on the right way. Okay, so I know that my old, and this is a really, really old ink pad. I really need to upgrade some of them. I'm still using the old linen one. So I know that I can ink this one up straight away because it is fairly dry. About to pop all of them back in. It's got a bit grubby. I'll flip it over. Get a good impression. And this is what I absolutely love about the Stamparatus, is that if you don't get it the first time, you know that you can get it the second time. Voila! Okay, I'm going to pop that aside and clean that later. Close all them up so I don't get myself mucky. And there's going to be a new celebration coordination coming out in March. So at the moment, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to bore you with my cutting out, but come March, you can actually purchase thinlits to cut these babies out for you. Okay, now that I've got all my pieces together, I'm just going to attach them with a bit of glue pen. So I'm going to pop this one on the big lily. Just try and get that so that it hugs nicely, and also on the small lily. Now for those who are receiving my card kit, of course if you don't have the stamp set that I am using, you can feel free to use any floral stamp set that you wish. Okay, so I'm going to overlap these, and I might as well do it now. So I'm going to have them in that sort of a position there. So I'm just going to glue them together as well. And have them a little bit like that. Okay. Okay, so now I can pop that aside somewhere where I'm not going to lose it. And I've got my old olive card base here. Oh, I just got my finger then. Ouchie. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly sponge around the edges. Definitely needing to re-ink my ink pad. You know, I should just replace my ink pad. Okay. Now I've also got a panel of Mango Melody to go along the edge, but I'm not going to, I'm going to have to trim that. I'm not going to sponge that one. I've got 3 circles which are cut from the 2.5 inch punch, and I'm going to sponge these guys. Oh dear, wrong sponge. Green does not go into mango. Now, get rid of that. Bring in my panel. Just want to cut these guys in half. So, well, roughly in half. So I'm going to stick these ones on first so I have an idea of where I am going. If I can find my snail. So cut one in half and we'll line these up. Okay, and then these ones I'm going to stick down. so they're a little off center as well, and then we can cut off that excess. And the one across the top. Because then if you want, you can actually, you know, pop them around the edges as well, if you wished. Okay, so the next bit is to then stick it onto our card base. And I've got a little bit of overhang, so I'm going to just trim that off as well. Okay, so we've got something like that going on. Next is we want our lilies to come back in, and we're going to mount them up with some dimensionals. Okay, just going to pop that down. Not looking like much so far. And we'll just get our sentiment, which I haven't got. So I am loving the itty bitty birthdays at the moment. I think they are my favourite happy birthdays at the moment. So just stamping in Mango Melody again. It's really easy, only 2 colours for this card, very easy. Okay, trim that to suit. I like to have nice thin, oh I'm getting ink everywhere. I like to have nice thin sentiments. Now, the other thing I'm going to use is, if you still have this punch is awesome. This is one that I don't think I will ever give up. We need to sandbox it and bring it back, I think. So, because it's so simple for cutting those bees. I can never get them lined up and even, and that helps tremendously. Okay, so we just want to do a couple more. And we're going to pop that over the top of our stems. Okay, and one final thing is that I've got about 20 centimeters of baker's twine here. So I'm just going to turn that into a bow. Now, if you want to make it a little bit of a fancier, oh, look at that, it just won't sit in the direction I want it to. All right. If you want to make them a little bit fancier, what you can do is just tie knots in the tails. It just adds to your bow without adding any more expense to your card. There we go. Slightly fancier baker's twine bow. Okay, I'm going to stick that down with a glue dot. So grab one of them, and I'm going to just pop it across where the 2 stems crossover if it wants to get off my scissors. And attach that. Whoops. Maybe he'll be better behind. Okay, and then finally, I've got to grab some of these backed sequins, sticky backed sequins. Okay, and I'm just going to pop on 3 of these guys. Okay, and that is it. Your happy birthday card is finished. So if you are a customer of mine and you are in my VIP group, upload your cards and you'll go in the draw to win a prize for this month. Okay, super simple. Can't wait to see what you come up with. See you later.